What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, and today we are certainly talking about some blades. As you see, we have a variety of blades out here on the tabletop because we are going to do a brand showcase today on Baz on Blades, and we are going to showcase the brand Twosun Knives. And why Baz on Blades thinks that Twosun Knives may possibly be the best budget knife brand available, at least as far as I know, because I only know part of everything. I mean, most of I know everything, and I'm telling you right now, this is absolutely the best name brand, except for the ones I've never heard of that could quite possibly be even better. So let's talk about Twosun Knives here. We've got 6 knives out on the tabletop. These do have some commonalities, but let's talk about the very first thing they have in common and why they are perhaps the best budget brand on the market. And the reason is because they're cheap. They are extremely cheap for what you get. And what we've got in front of us here today is a collection of their M390 bladed models, except for one of these, and that is the TS419, and it is in Twosun's proprietary YJ01 stainless steel, and that is a slightly modified spray form version of M390, and that's why we have it included here. We're not really going to get into the differences so much between spray form steels and true powder metallurgy type of steels. There is a slight difference, mostly in grain structure, that I don't think is really going to be a critical thing in common use of folding knives. So we're not going to talk too much about it, maybe a little later in the video. What you're looking at here price-wise from the low end, which is the TS123 slip joint, this knife is $84.99. Our high end here is going to be the TS269 at $139.99. Now, I did buy all of these Twosun knives exclusively at White Mountain Knives. That is the only place I buy Twosun knives. I do not do the ridiculous eBay auctions because I don't give a shit about that crap. I hate auctions. Just let me buy the damn thing. That's all I want to do. Justin has fairly priced his Twosun stuff. He's always got inventory coming in. He's always done right by me. So there you go. That's why I buy my Twosun at White Mountain Knives, and the prices that I gave you are White Mountain Knife prices. So our low side were $84.99. After a 10% discount code, that's $76.50. Our high side of $139.99 again is going to be $125.99 after a 10% discount code at White Mountain Knives. Some commonalities besides the price in these knives, they're all titanium build. Again, all in M390 except for the TS419, which is in the YJ01 spray form version of the M390. You see many of them feature carbon fiber added to them. Most of these are frame locks, except again for that TS123 slip joint. There's a lot of commonalities here. One of the commonalities is damn near perfect fit and finish for their price point. For any price point, actually. Let's go with that. For any price point, these have damn near perfect fit and finish. So let's get these moved out of the way here, and we'll bring them out one at a time and sort of try to go through real quickly and talk a little bit about each model and what I found to be a positive attribute of that model and why I have it out here in this showcase of Twosun knives, and in particular their M390 models, which I think are comparable to models on the market at anywhere from 2, 3, or even 4 times the price. Now, what we got here is the TS123. This is the only slip joint I have from Twosun Knives. You can see it is a very modernized titanium framed, titanium pocket clip. Slip joint is pretty much standard sort of half stop. So you do have your walk and talk on this slip joint. We've got a clip point blade here with a slight recurve in the secondary bevel there. It has a nice, long, deep nail neck, both sides, of course. Again, we're in titanium and carbon fiber and a reversible titanium milled titanium pocket clip, a hidden lanyard attachment point on this model. I'm not really going to go into specs on these so much. You can easily go over to White Mountain Knives and check these models out to get your specs. This model is very impressive for its handle treatment. Again, we're in titanium. Let's get up here and look close at this with this inlaid carbon fiber in this sort of fishbone type of pattern that is repeated on front and back sides. Honestly, I do not know how you could do a slip joint of this type of build in these types of materials and get that out on the market any cheaper than $85 at the basic street price. Let's get up very close and you can look at the fitment between this carbon fiber inlay to the titanium handle on this. Let's take a look at the back side here. It's beautiful, beautiful work. I mean, it is beautiful, beautiful work. They originally did a version of this knife, I think in D2 for the blade steel, that had a copper inlay into the titanium rather than this carbon fiber. And if you're into that copper look, it also looks fantastic, just as well made. Although I think bladed again in D2, which is something that Twosun tends to do with their models. You like this one, but you don't want to spend $85 on it. Let's go down to $65 or whatever it was. I don't remember. For the standard version in D2 with copper inlay. A lot of these other models are also available in lower priced versions with D2 for the blade steel. Some may even be in 14C, which is also another stainless steel that Twosun tends to use on their lower priced models. So there you go, the TS123 slip joint, available well under $100. Well under $100 in M390 titanium. Fantastic fit and finish. Come on, what is not to like about that? Now we've got the TS81 out here. I think this might be the very first M390 model that I bought from Twosun. The TS81 is a classic model for them. It is long, it is slim, it is right at just shy of a 4-inch blade, I believe. It's a very size-wise, very comparable to a Zero Tolerance 0452 folder. It is a long, narrow profile like that. Again, damn near perfect fit and finish. Let's take a look at all of this machining here on this 3-dimensionally machined titanium frame lock. The carbon fiber is also machined, texturally machined, just like the titanium is. Every surface of this knife damn near is machined. Every surface of this knife is damn near is machined. You've got a titanium pocket clip. This one a la Beg knives with a large ceramic ball inserted for your contact point. These knives usually, typically, damn near 100% of the time have perfect action, and this one is no different. It is very snappy. It is basically drop shut smooth. And then I saw something. What did I see when I was messing with that? I thought I saw something on the edge. May have something on the edge, glue or something, tape, because I use all of these knives. These are great knives to carry if you want something in a titanium frame lock, exceptional build, exceptional action. A very good blade steel in the M390, but you don't want to be carrying your expensive knives, maybe your American-made knives. These are a great alternative. I don't feel bad at all carrying one of these knives. That's the TS81, $119. Titanium frame lock, M390, titanium milled parts, ceramic bearings. Come on. $119.99. Now we've got the TS269. This is the absolutely most expensive knife out here at $139 American. Again, titanium frame lock, M390, bearings on the pivot, ceramic bearings, titanium backspacer, titanium milled pocket clip. This one is a thumb stud opening system. It is very nicely detented, i.e. The detent is tuned for this knife. It is wonderful to thumb flick out. Now, reverse flick, I don't know. Yeah, even Bazon blades can reverse flick this thing, and I'm like a reverse flicking retard or something. So we got a harpoon blade, again in M390, satin finish on this. And again, these are not reviews. I'm just looking at it right now, putting myself on the spot, just naming a few little things that I notice about each model. These knives are so well made. Let's get up here and look at this soft, just flowing, this milling pattern. I don't know. It's an intersecting milling pattern that is, it's a radiused, wavy sort of cut, and combined with this not hemispherical, but spherical machining around the pivot, is just a incredibly interesting looking knife. And for all that it has going on, it is really very subdued. It is not like it's a look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me sort of thing. It's a, hey, wait a second, let's take a look at this. That looks interesting. It's more of that. And again, these knives are so tightly done, so well machined. The surface finishing, in this case, a nice soft media blast sort of finish that's on over that machining. Beautiful, beautiful work. The grinds on the blades are so well done. This is in a satin, an as machined satin. It's got a very light buff on it and some nice sheen, as you can see with all the reflections going on here. Beautiful, beautiful grind work. Look at how tight that bevel is. That secondary bevel, that edge bevel, that is super duper tight. That is super tight. $139, $125.99 after a 10% discount code. Excuse me. So the next thing we've got here is the TS162. This is an extremely well dialed in example of this knife. It rockets out. It rockets out in such an interesting looking design while still being very utilitarian. It's not giving up any usefulness to have an interesting aesthetic appeal. You've got a leaf-shaped sort of blade here, spear point-ish type of blade with a very high, very flat grind. Again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work on the grinds. They are very even from side to side. That is something that has always impressed me with Twosun knives. Now let's get up into this handle and start taking a look at this bolster build type of build here on this frame lock with carbon fiber overlays of titanium bolsters. Here you got a nice fat titanium backspacer here. Again, milled titanium pocket clip and all the standard accoutrement of a modern flipper folder. Ceramic bearings on the D10 and pivot, and excuse me, and hardened steel lock face insert. This is a beautiful, beautiful knife, the TS162. It's a full-size knife. All of these are. Twosun spreads the M390 across their entire product line, and they've got different sizes of just about all types of different knives. You want a large flipper folder, they got them. You want a small flipper folder, they got them. A knife with thumb studs, they got them. You want micarta, they got it. You want titanium, they got it. Carbon fiber, they got it. There's such a wide variety in the Twosun product line. And we're just touching the very edge of it because we're just looking at M390 models here. And again, I don't even know how many M390 models there are. There could be 50 for all I know. Twosun Knives is like the Chinese equivalent of Tops Knives in the United States. I don't even know if the employees know how many different models of knives they've got, and they're all so well made. This knife has got so much, just how tightly made it is. Look at the fit between everything. This is just modern machining at its very highest level, even at such a low price point. These are not a simple machining passes here. You have a mixture of flat machining, radius machining, both concave and convex sort of radius machining, compound radiuses throughout the design. As you can see, just this machine right here, just this feature here, this hollow ground sort of collapsing type of feature here, that is beautiful, beautiful work. As you see the light move across that feature, that adds so much to this knife. Look at this. It's almost like a fluting that goes around the edge rather than a chamfered that you would see in sort of a flat bevel. This is just beautiful, beautiful work. As that knife, as you move it around and you look at it, you see so much going on as the light plays across these knives. Very intricate and beautiful machine work on these knives. So this is one of my favorites coming up. This is the TS419. This is such a good design. It gives you everything that a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 does, with more cutting edge and a more compact handle in a basically perfectly made titanium frame lock flipper folder. This has a very high slicer type grind, like the zero tolerance. What is it? The 562, the Hinderer, the 562 has got the slicer grind on the blade. This flat grind that is rising towards the tip. That is just beautiful. Look at how tight that edge bevel is. That is super. This high grind, this primary grind, gets super thin behind the edge. That's what gives you that really tight, narrow edge bevel. Beautiful, beautiful stuff here. Again, there's so much going on in this knife, so much beautiful machining, some nice carbon fiber on this. And I want to point out something here. This side of the knife, the lock bar side of the knife of the TS419, is absolutely one of the most beautiful design aspects I have ever seen in a knife. This lock bar, the way it is revealed up against the carbon fiber insert following these lines, the way that is revealed, the machining on it is absolutely beautiful. That is one of the best looking lock bars I have ever seen on any knife, on any frame lock knife. That is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful design. It's very seldom y'all look at the back side or the lock bar side of a frame lock and say, you know what, that looks better than the front. But it does. It looks so good. So good. I cannot say enough about how I like the back side of this knife. It got a backside. It's got the backside going on. Okay. Again, perfect action, perfect centering on these. Just a beautiful, beautiful design in a flipper folder. Again, all titanium, everything, ceramic bearings on the pivot and detent. Just a wonderful, wonderful looking knife. The TS419. Next, we have the TS223, another bolster build frame lock in titanium and carbon fiber. I really like Twosun's titanium and carbon fiber. Their carbon fiber is always a very high quality, very well machined. You don't find any voids in it. I don't know that any of these knives with carbon fiber, there's any voids in any of it. I have not noticed anything myself. And we're up pretty close here, taking a look at this. I don't see anything. Again, milled titanium backspacer, milled titanium pocket clip, standard feature set of ceramic bearings on the pivot and detent, hardened steel lock face insert. Again, it's M390 for the blade steel, and this is $119.99 before a 10% discount code, which puts it at $107.99 to your door. Listen, I know some people do not want to buy Chinese product. And I don't want to buy Chinese product. I want to be able to buy a competitive American product. But there is not a competitive American product at less than 2 or 3 times the price. There is no American manufacturer, period, that is making a titanium frame lock folder with carbon fiber, M390 for the blade steel, ceramic bearings, all of the jazz that goes with this. There is nothing, not one knife from one manufacturer in America that can compete with this knife for less than 2 or 3 times the price. When you work for a living, it's all nice and fine to say, I don't want to buy anything but American. But if you can't buy an American-made knife like this for less than $300, that places that firmly out of the reach of the vast majority of people. Many knife enthusiasts will never own a $300 knife in their lifetime. They have family. They have life priorities that are more important than spending hundreds of dollars on knives. These knives are absolutely 100%, in my opinion, the best bargain in a high-end made but budget titanium frame lock for the most part, flipper folder for the most part. They just don't. There's no competition. I mean, I'm starting to ramble a little bit here. I'm sort of losing my concentration here a little bit, but there is no competition for these knives in the American market. Now, is there in the Chinese market? Well, yeah, there's all kinds of brand names out there, and you know what? Some of them may even be made by the same company that makes these knives. A lot of these manufacturers are OEMs, and they make knives for various other brand names besides their own. So Twosun, or whoever makes Twosun, whatever the name of the actual company is, I don't know and don't care. They may make, blah, blah, blah's knives that are M390 titanium frame locks that are around the same price point. But what I'm trying to say is, for the money, there isn't really anything on the market that beats these knives. Is there something that's just as good? Maybe. I don't know. Like I say, Bazon Blades is not capable of knowing everything about everything. I'm just a human being, and I'm not the smartest one of those. I mean, I may be in like the top 1 percentile of all human beings that have ever lived in entirety of existence. Maybe. I don't know. Or I could be in the bottom 1%. I don't know. But I do know that these knives are killer knives for the price. These knives are nothing but a damn bargain. They are a damn bargain. Look at that. That knife was $119. $107.99 after 10% discount code. That is a beautiful knife. It feels so good in the hand. The fit and finish is so good on these knives. I can't say enough. And I'm not saying as much as I could say because I don't really want to focus on any of the individual models. I'm more talking about what Twosun Knives gives to the knife enthusiast community. Now, of course, they are a business. They are in the business of making money. That is their business model. Hey, we make money. That's a good business model. It makes for a successful business. But they seem to understand that doing that, they need the consumer to be pleased with their product. So they come back and purchase more of their product. And that is a very important in the knife enthusiast world because, believe it or not, most people don't care about knives at all. They don't even own a pocket knife. Most people you see out do not even own a pocket knife, let alone 200 or 300 of them like many of us do. I have got so many knives now. I don't ever sharpen knives anymore. I cannot dull a knife. It doesn't matter how cheap the blade steel is. I cannot carry a knife long enough to dull that knife. I've got knives that I've had for 10 or 15 years that have seen a rotation. They've seen pocket time. They're not dull because I've got too many knives. Most people don't, though. And most people will not spend a huge amount of money on knives. This this right here may be a stretch for many people, even within the knife enthusiast community. But I'm telling you right now, you are not going to do any better. Titanium, carbon fiber, M390, ceramic bearings, beautiful design, damn near perfect fit and finish, damn near perfect action, very consistent. I've never had, I have not in recent memory, I cannot recall having a Twosun knife that was defective. I had one knife that came with an extra part, that the extra part was not in the packaging, and I had to get that taken care of. But there was nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the knife. It was basically perfectly made. So this company has been as consistent or more consistent than any other that I've ever dealt with as a knife enthusiast, regardless of company of origin or price point. Take that as you will. Again, I've got one example of each of these models in front of me, and with a sample size of one, it's a sample size of one. I cannot say absolutely everything they make is going to be perfect. Again, human beings make these, so not everything is perfect. I just don't see how you can do any better than these knives right here. And once again, let's take a look at this lock bar side of the TS419. Look at that. That is so beautiful. I love these tension relief cutouts here for the lock bar to lessen the tension on it. I love that big chunky. I just love that. I love everything about the backside of that knife. Every one of these knives got so much going on. TS81 here. All of that machine in there. All of that machining. Look at that. I love to watch the light play across all the complex machining on these knives. That in itself is just as good as the light playing across the carbon fiber in these knives. As much as I like that, the machining in the titanium is just as entertaining for Bazon blades. So there we go. We got a half an hour showcase on the Twosun Knives M390 models that Bazon Blades has in his collection. Go over to White Mountain Knives and do a search on Twosun Knives and take a look at the different models that they have. Some of them are pretty wild, and I'm not interested in them, and maybe you wouldn't be either. But they have a very wide variety of designs, a very wide variety of designers that do designs for Twosun Knives. I just think they are extremely strong within the market for what they are. So there you go. Twosun Knives here at Bazon Blades. Again, Twosun Knives has no idea who I am. They didn't give me a damn dime to do this. They don't even know I'm doing it. This is for you guys. This is not for Twosun Knives. They don't need me to help sell their knives. The knives sell themselves. What I'm trying to do here is turn my guys and gals onto what is potentially one of the best bargains in a very consistent, high-quality product line. Twosun Knives. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.